And yeah, it's 2 o'clock, and it's safe to say that this is a good time for us to start. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone see me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Man, it seems we Ayo, did you lag by yeah? If you don't like it, I'm sorry, man. But please, if you are in the chat, either on YouTube or on Facebook, either on YouTube or on the Zoom chat, please be at liberty to introduce yourselves. Just chat. You don't need to be vocal about it. Just type your name and let's know where you're from, where you are watching this stream from. And then I'll just take a look at. Also, if you are online, if you're online on like social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, you can also tweet this event. Just help share the word out there. I think, do we need a hashtag? Do we need a hashtag? I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, so let's see. If we're gonna do a hashtag, maybe we would say let's just say first web with Figma. That should be it. I think that'll be a good enough hashtag. First web with Figma. So so let me just put that hashtag over here as well on the YouTube channel. First web with Figma. All right, so hi everyone. I'm seeing Christina Gauchi, Raji Shakrudin, Olamide Williams, Temitope Odutan, Michael Oladekojo. I hope I'm getting your names correctly. This is a lot. Okay, first web with Figma Overlay Academy. And that's a very long. That's a very long one. Okay, let's even see. Is this something that could work? Let's say first web with overlay. But I think we should settle on that. That would be good. First web with overlay is fine. All right, so first of all, let me thank everyone for actually joining us. This is significantly bigger from the first masterclass I organized many months ago. I think I organized that in October. Yes, many months ago. And we have like a larger audience. I can see a lot more people from a lot more places have joined us. I'm seeing people from Bangladesh, people from the Philippines, people from Indonesia, and obviously people from Nigeria. So with big warm arms, I welcome everyone. Thank you guys for taking our time to join us. I am hopeful that yes, there will be. Okay, so let me mute everyone. Mute everyone. So if anyone wants to, if you have anything you want to ask, if you have any questions you'd like to ask, you can indicate by raising your hand, or you can just type it in the chat and I'll be sure to read it. Okay, so to answer your question, Taiberu Barak, you're asking if you're going to be receiving a recording. First of all, there will be no need for me to record this because this is currently being streamed on YouTube. So right after this, the recording in quotes is going to be living on YouTube permanently. So if you want to watch this session again, you can always go to the our YouTube channel to watch it anytime you like. So let's welcome everyone. It's a new year, 2021. It's been an interesting last 12 months, but I'm most grateful that everyone couldn't make it here all together, because it's been quite traumatic, it's been quite stressful, it's been difficult, to say the least. But all of that aside, I hope that in the course of this lesson, we'll be able to derive some value and we'll be able to come out with some level of confidence to say, yes, I can start designing websites. Now, don't expect that you're going to be a master, you're going to be a master website designer at the end of this lesson. No, that's not what's going to happen. What I intend to do today is to basically help you get started on your journey to start to get started on designing websites with Figma. And yeah, so I think that's it basically. Okay, so I think we've gone around introducing ourselves. Excel Olatubosu, nice to see you here. Linda Havon from Southport, UK. Hi. VJ Prasad. Hi. Tolulope Adeleye. Hi. Alabi Olanike and Nelson from Lagos, Nigeria. It's great, it's great having all of you here online. Okay, so what are we here for? We are here to learn how to create. We're here to learn how to create website designs with Figma. I'll do my best to keep this give this lesson workshop or masterclass crash course as brief and as quick as possible. While my audio is echoing. Who else thinks is my audio echoing?
I don't think so. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think Tukumbo, I think this is on you. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so today, like I said, we are here to actually learn how to create our first website in Figma. We're going to be talking about, how websites actually work, what usually entails to actually design a website. We're going to be talking about the various tools that usually come into play whenever it comes to designing your own website. We're going to be breaking down the anatomy of a website to see what it actually takes. We'll be talking briefly on colors, typography, images, and a bit about layout. We'll be talking about UI. We'll be expatiating on the ideas of, oh, no, you don't. No. You see that one? I am not going to have it. No, you don't. No. I'm going to stop it from annotating. Yes, good, excellent. We're going to be talking about the various core UI elements that often come into play whenever you are designing your website. We're going to be discussing about responsive design, what it means for your design to be responsive and adaptive across screens, and then last but not the least, we're going to be designing something. Well, at least I'm going to be showing you how I design, and hopefully you'll be able to join in and get to also design something for yourselves. Okay, who's ready? Is everyone ready? Wow, Jesus, I like that enthusiasm. Yes. All right. So, first things first, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Leslie. I have been designing for close to... You guys are going to have to forgive me because I keep forgetting how long I've been designing, but I know that I've been designing for well over 16 years. I've been designing since 2001, 2002. Celestine, is my audio okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I've been designing since 2001, 2002. That much I can remember. I have been a visual designer. I started with visual design, normal visual design, where people design with CorelDRAW, Photoshop. Before I started graduating into Illustrator, then I transitioned from being a regular visual designer into brand identity design. That's visual identity design, where we design logos and design elements and all that, before transitioning from that to product design, where I get to design mobile apps, websites, web apps, and occasionally mobile games. I have designed mobile games before, and let me tell you, it's fun. It's really, really fun. Okay, so during the course of this lesson, let me just put this out there. During the course of this lesson, if you have any questions, please type them down. I will do my best to get across to them. To the question, I'll do my best to get across to the various questions and answer them to the best of my abilities. Now, a little more about me. I've been designing for donkey amounts of years. I currently work at TMAPT. Yeah, TMAPT is a fintech. Let me show you TMAPT's website. Sorry. So I currently work at TMAPT. TMAPT is a fintech that focuses on financial services, that focuses on creating financial services for the underserved. And this is the website that I did for the company. So let me just drop the URL so you can check them, so you can check it out on your devices. And sorry, so you can check it out on your devices. I've been at TMAPT for a little more than 3 years now. Actually, that's how long I've been at TMAPT. And I have designed digital banking products for banks. I have designed financial inclusion products. That's mobile money products that are currently in use in a variety of locations. If you you're in Nigeria, for example, I'm pretty sure those of the people who are in the audience are probably in like the UK or in the US, really can't relate to this. But if you were to go and visit a mobile money agent and you were to see this logo, Money Points, yes, that Money Point is a product of TMAPT that I worked on. And if you look at this image that looks it's a really awkward image that looks like me, that's because it is me. Hi, Hawa Yatara. Yes, this live is being recorded, so it's being streamed straight to YouTube. So right after this, if you want to watch the entire stream, you can always rewatch it on YouTube. So this is it's a very, very simple website that we put together. Mohammed Ibrahim, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so let me get back to opening Figma. So that is, I think, yeah, that has basically been it for me. Kaisu Isua, do you have a question for me? So like I said, that's basically been it for me. I've been designing for a bunch of years, and these are the things that I have been working on. So let's get right into it. So presumably, a lot of us are actually new to web designing, or probably don't know what web designing is. Or let me even do like a small show of hands. Who here can design websites? Just if you can just use here. Okay, good. I just want to have like a feel of the people I'm actually working with. So I use a CMS. Mohammed, what CMS do you use? WordPress, yes? Okay. Okay. Angular and WordPress. Wow. So here's the thing, Pereira. We're just going to be dealing with Figma. We're just going to be dealing with Figma, yeah? And, geez, Shopify, I'm familiar with Figma. Excellent. Very good. Aidogbon. Aidogbon. Is your father the pastor? Pastor Sam Aidogbon? Oh, that's your uncle. Hey, that's nice. Okay. Excellent. Olatubosu, I think you have a question. You can ask. While that's happening, so let's just continue. So, my follow-up question is, how many people? If you have a question, instead of raising your hand, just type the question on the chat. I'll continue from there. So my follow-up question is, how many people have no idea what Figma is? Wow.
Definitely has to pay the engineers. But one thing is that
Olabi Daramola, can you please mute yourself? Ulubi Daramola, can you please mute yourself? Okay, wow. So it looks like a fair number of people don't really know what Figma is. All right. So during the course of this session, I'll just walk you through very briefly over what Figma is, how to use Figma for your design. Just like a small navigation, just like a small way to actually navigate your way around Figma. If you can go to my YouTube channel. There's a 5-hour there's a 5-hour session where I actually do a proper deep dive into how to navigate around Figma. So yeah, that is that about that. Okay.
What's your YouTube channel?
The Overlay Academy channel. You know what? Better yet, I'll just share the link here. Controls. YouTube. Yeah, this one. So this will be it. Let me go to the live and then just drop it here. Apple had a drag and drop utility. That's interesting. Okay, so you don't need to focus on that right now, because what I'm just going to be teaching is just about enough to get to get started, and wow, okay, just about enough to actually get started. We're using Figma. Then you can then go back and take the proper deep dive where I expatiate on on a lot of the features of Figma and how you can actually use it. I tried my best to be quite comprehensive, and I have found that course has helped many people to start using Figma. Okay, so let's get back to it. So what do we know about designing websites? I just want to gauge everyone's knowledge level about website design. Oh, Team Apt was done with I think Team Apt was just basic HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript. So like I said, I just want to have like a good idea of what people understand by of people's understanding of designing websites. So what do we know about designing websites? Hit me, let me know. Okay, Karen N says grids and information hierarchy. Peter says he knows nothing. Like, so you're basically just Jon Snow right now. Of course, there's a front end and a back end, but we are not talking about we're not talking about implementing website design. We're talking about the design process of websites themselves. We are not talking about writing code. We are not. Okay, navigation, yeah. UX, yes. Go on, go ahead. Layout, navigation, colors, accessibilities, yes. Wireframes, high and low information, yes. Go on. Prototyping, yes. Certain degrees, yes. Empathy mapping, branding, look and feel. Okay, so let's get to it then. All right, hero images. I was hoping when that one would actually come up. Okay, so when it comes to designing websites, let's even understand what websites are. Websites are basically a collection of web pages put together to display information, to represent an identity or a brand online. And like I said, obviously there are a collection of pages, and these pages obviously have to be designed one way or the other. Now, if it was as far back as say 2002, 2000, and maybe even 1999, a lot of focus wasn't really placed on designing or on designing websites. People just came, they just dumped all their content online, and then expected people to actually figure it out. But these days, they, with the onset of user experience, UI, UX, and then with companies like Apple, who have inspired other companies to take design and branding a lot more seriously, as it's obviously affects the bottom lines of the various companies. There is a higher demand. There is a there is a higher demand for designers, and there's a higher premium that is placed on the value of design in relation to whatever industry that you find yourself in. So why web design altogether? It's because it's a flexible medium. How do I mean by it's flexible? I mean that you can use web design to tell stories. You can use web design to build online presence for brands. You can use web design to even create communities as well. So you can use it for a variety of things. It's not just rigid. You can, there are several use cases for website designs. I mean, obviously we have sites that are strictly about sharing and giving information. There are sites that are strictly about recruiting users, getting users to come on board, to use their platform. There are sites that are forums, for example, and all of these products or all of these sites are designed because you have to consider how your information is presented to your intending users, or to the people to your target audience. Let me not say intending users, to your target audience. You have to consider how that information is presented and how it is consumed and processed by these same people. So if it's not properly designed, and when I say it's not properly designed, I'm not saying, you should have lots of colors and animation and all that. There has to be a flow to it. There has to be a method to the designing. There has to be a process to it, because so that whoever is going to be looking at your website can look at whatever information they want, and they can have, or they can feel a kind of connection with the brand. So that they can feel exactly for brand information and to go sales. Yes, exactly. So that they can feel some kind of connection with the brand. You understand? So yeah, that's it. So that then segues into my second point as to what we need to know about web design or website design. There is a focus on visuals, there is a focus on presenting your information, and also there is a focus on interactions. And now let me break this down. So the focus on the visuals, visuals has to do with, typography, colors, the layout of your website, UI elements, imagery, icons. There is a focus on how all those things are arranged on your design to present whatever information that you're trying to pass across as a website. Now, presenting this information, when you talk about presenting information, you talk about information hierarchy. Now, that's a very big fancy word. Let me just break it down briefly. Information hierarchy just basically talks about how information is grouped together in an orderly fashion and presented to the user in a way they can consume easily without stress. That is it. There's nothing, information hierarchy is just a big buzzword. There's nothing, there's nothing complex about it. It's just how you present your information, how you group it, how you arrange it, so that whoever it is that is reading whoever it is that is viewing your website can view it without getting lost you know, or without feeling that they're wasting their time and not getting the kind of information that they are here for. Then finally, we talk about interactions. Now, what are interactions? Interactions is it's kind of like, it's literally like a field on its own, but interactions often has to do with, the actions or the activities that users can perform on your website, and then the feedback that they get from the website. So, for example, there are some really meaningful interactions where the user is expected to, where the user is expected to input certain information, and after collecting information from the user, the website displays a result or an outcome. So for example, when you are dealing with search, you input some keywords, and then there's a response from the system. So that's an interaction. There are some other fun interactions where you see things like parallax scrolling, hover effects, all those really fancy hover effects, some animation that happens when you scroll. So those are like really fancy. Those are really fancy interactions that they don't necessarily serve a. They don't necessarily have any utility other than helping shape the perception of the brand that owns that website, or the brand whose website they are currently viewing. Is anyone following me? If I'm talking too fast, like, you can let me know, so I'll just slow down a little bit. Okay. All right, thank you very much. So let's get it move along so that we don't waste too much time. So what isn't about designing websites? So when we talk about designing websites, you really don't need to bother about coding, and really that's really it. Except maybe you're at the level of prototyping. But now when I say you don't need to bother about coding, you always have to keep coding in mind, because you have to design things that can be translated to, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and whatnot. But at this stage, when you are designing, either your product or your website or whatever, you are not expected to write any kind of code. You're not expected to write any kind of code. So that's that about that. Let's move on. Okay, so there are a variety of tools by which we actually use to design websites. Now, we can, from the top of my head, I can think of InVision Studio. Let me see if I can type them down. InVision Studio. You can think of InVision Studio, Adobe XD, Sketch, which is only available on macOS, Studio by Famous, which I think is available on the web and on macOS and on Windows as well. What else? I'm forgetting one. InVision, Adobe XD, Studio, Sketch. There is one more. I just can't seem to remember it. Oh yes, UXPin. Protopie. I haven't designed with Protopie before. Oh yes, I remember now. Framer. Not SketchUp, Sketch. SketchUp is different. SketchUp is a 3D modeling platform. Marvel is a prototyping tool. Protopie is for interactions. Framer is for interactions and up until recently, for design. Framer transitioned from just being a prototyping tool to a design and prototyping tool. So you can design in Framer and you can prototype in Framer as well. Principle is a prototyping tool, and it's only for Mac. All right, so let's just keep the questions to minimum, and so we can quickly advance through the class and get to where we are going to, which is why everyone is here. So the reason why I wrote we go use Figma, no long talk, is because what we are going to be using today is primarily Figma. And why are we using Figma? Figma is very lightweight. It's a cross-platform in ways that the other tools cannot even begin to match, because you can not only can you use Figma on both on both Windows and Mac OS. You can also use it on any browser. So that means you can use Figma anywhere. You can use Figma anywhere. Another reason why I love Figma is that Figma supports multiplayer, multiple users working on the same product in real time. As of right now, the only other product that has come close to that is Adobe XD, but I think they put that behind a paywall, and really nobody cares much for that anymore. So we're stuck with Figma. I've been using Figma since version 1, since when they launched. I initially did not like it. I initially didn't like it, but I found myself growing towards it because it was solving. Yes, Figma is beginner friendly. Can it be used offline? So not directly. Figma cannot be used offline, but there is a way to go about it. So if you have your you have your Figma connected and you're online, if it goes offline, Figma will let you continue designing, and it will even save. It will let you keep designing. You can also save offline as well, and as soon as you have connection back, it syncs back online. Guaranji Pausani is asking, do you need Sketch to use Figma? Oh, no, you don't need Sketch. As you have a Windows laptop, you can download Figma. There's no need for Sketch. Oh yes, yeah. I think the prototyping is probably online only, but yeah, I think that's probably the only downside. But Figma is not overly perfect, but I think it's good enough for what I want to do. It's fast, it's intuitive, it has a very low bar to entry. Anyone can pick up Figma within an afternoon, and if you're focused and you concentrate long enough, you should be able to, get the hang of it within an afternoon. I can almost guarantee it. All right, so for this class, for this session, we're going to be using Figma, and I will try my best to actually walk you guys through how to create an account on Figma, so that you can start, designing stuff on Figma. Tokumbo Ayodele, yes, you can use Figma on Mac OS. Yes, it's everywhere. Very much. Okay. So let's just let's open Figma on our browsers. So you open your browser. I'm creating a new account. All right. So you can either log in if you have an account. If you don't have an account, you can just simply sign up. And I think as soon as you're done, I think as soon as you're done signing up with, let me see if this has an account already. Let me see. Let's see. Tell us a bit about yourself. What I do. Leslie, what kind of work do I do? Design. I agree to be here. Create an account. Oh, okay. That means I already used that already. But let me try this then. Use one of my older. Wow, it's quite possible that this already has an account. Oh, okay. All right, so I need to verify my email. All right, Figma, verify my, verify my email. And then it tells me that my email has been verified, and then it welcomes me to Figma. So let me just create like overlay playground. Next, I can invite as many people as I want, but since we're just starting this, I think we'll just go with the startup plan, because the professional plan requires that you have to pay, but it has more features. But you can still work with the startup plan. It's not limiting. It's not limiting. It's very, very, it's very, very free. All right, so I choose starter. No thanks, because I already know my way around. Okay, so this is the Figma interface. This is what Figma by itself, what it looks like. All right. So let me just quickly spend the next 10, 15 minutes walking everyone through, the interface of Figma, and hopefully I'll just familiarize everyone with the tools that you just need for this lesson. Remember, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know enough to actually get you through, and then you can always learn the rest a lot later. Okay, so where are we? So you see that Figma is divided into, this entire screen is actually divided into 4 parts. You have this top bar over here. You have this section here by the left. You have this big space in the middle. And you also have this panel here by the right. Now let's look at how each of these what each of these panels or sections are for. Now this top bar here is where you perform the bulk of your actions. So it's basically your toolbox. This allows you to name your file. So if I wanted to name this file, say Leslie's first website, and then on the right here, this allows you to share your Figma board with anyone. And the reason why this functionality is important is because if, for example, another person wanted to work on this same project while you were working on it, or if they just wanted to watch you work on it, you could just click on share, copy the link, and then share with the people who you want to share with. In this case, I want to share with people in this class. Okay, let me see if I can share the same link with everyone on the stream. Share it to YouTube. So yeah, I shared it. Everyone should be happy now. All right. So a few things that we need to know about Figma. Like I said, these are the tools. Because I'm using Windows and I'm also designing on my browser. It looks a bit different, but if you download it to your system, it would look a certain way, slightly different from what we have here, but you should be able to locate all the other controls. All right, so we have the the navigation, file, edit, view, object, vector, blah 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 blah. What you are interested in, final farm. Oh, okay. 1 minute. Let me. Anyone with the link? All right, so you guys can try it again. Try it again. See, everyone's here now. Good. All right. So we have your move tool. Under it, you have your skill tool, but most of the time it's usually your move tool. Now, if you look at the screen, you see like a lot of people have actually joined. I'm counting like some code. Jesus, it's, oh my God, it's like 10 people are on the screen already. 10 people are already on the screen, and that is why I like Figma. This many people can work on the same project at the same time, and that's why it's fun. All right, so we have the frame tool. Frames actually allow us to actually create pages for our designs. We can create anything. So those of us who are actually here on the Figma, the reason why you can't interact with anything is because I'm the only editor, and because I'm using the free plan, I really can't add more than 2 editors. Oh dear. Okay. Geez, just like flies. All right. Then you have your shape toolbox here that allows you to create shapes. It's your rectangle. This is your line tool. This is your arrow, which you probably not get to use so frequently. You have your circles and your ellipse. You have your polygon tools, which lets you create triangles. And it doesn't just limit you to triangles. You can actually scale it up and create other polygons if you want, depending on the control. You have a tool that lets you create stars and to make modifications to those stars, and probably even give the stars more sides, depending on how you want to do it. And then there is a tool that allows you to import images if you want. In this case, I'll just import something simple. Let me just import Rudia's image so you can see, and it allows me to just drop it there. Okay. So that is that about that. So this is just the basics of it. You also have the pen tool, which right now you really don't need to bother about because we're not exactly going to be using much of it, at least not in this class. And done. We have the tool that allows us to actually impute text. So if you can probably practice, on your own while I work, or you can just watch, while I work and watch the video later and practice on your own. However it is that you want to do it. Okay. All right, good. So then after that, I think this just allows you to move around. And then yes, an important tool is the comment tool that allows you to add and give comments, wherever you like. So let's say I wanted to comment on this image and say, something to the effect of digging the glasses. So very, very simple, very, very basic. And that's it. So this is just like the fastest and the cheapest overview of the tools at this top bar here. So let's move on very quickly. Now, on the left panel here, you see the left panel is essentially the layers panel, and it allows you to navigate between layers, and then between pages. Figma allows you to create pages. Like what we are currently working on right now, where we are right now is one page. If you want to create another page to hold maybe another set of designs, you can quickly add a new page. You can call it whatever you want, and you see, because there's a new page, it's empty, there's nothing here. So if you want to navigate between pages, you come here to your left, you see page 2, or the page name, and then you can just click it and then go to the page that you want to go to. So let's maintain this. Assets are usually for design system and components, but since we are not talking about that, we're not touching that, so let's just leave that alone. Now, so like I was saying, we are looking at our layers. Now you see, most of you who are actually familiar with Photoshop or other design tools should already know how layers actually work. There's a hierarchy to layers. It means that if I select this rectangle here, let me give it a different color. Let me give it a different color. Let's say I'm giving it red, and this polygon here, let me give it, say, a good old blue. Because of the way it's arranged on the layers panel, the rectangle is beneath the polygon, right? Same with the circle. The circle is also beneath the polygon, but it's on top of the rectangle. Now, if I wanted to move the rectangle to the top, all I just need to do is select the rectangle in the layers panel. You notice that it's at the bottom, that means it's at the very back. So you move it upwards to the top, and there you have it. It is on top. The rectangle is on top. All right, so let's push this out. Oh boy. Take this out. Take this out as well. Jafar. Okay, so now this frame that we've created is where all our designs usually end up. You can create as many frames as you like. This is an image. We'll come to that later. You can create as many frames as you like. You can create a frame by coming to here, press the frame button, and then if you look at the right panel, you see on the right, you see oh dear. Yeah, so if you look at the right, you see like the different dimensions, the different kind of frames that you can create. You can create frames for mobile devices, you can create frames for tablets, you can create frames for desktops, you can create presentation frames for iWatches, even normal print paper frames if you want, A4, A5, A6, letter and tabloids. You can create frames for social media, and if you wanted to create a Figma community frame, but you don't really need that right now. What you're interested in is just these two, frames for desktop and frames for your phone. All right, so we have all of that all set. Now, we're done with the left panel, so let's go to the right panel. Now, the right panel is basically the properties panel, right? And you'll notice that whenever I select an object here, this panel changes to reflect the properties of that object. Now, I've selected a text or a text object, right? Sorry, hold on. Let's try and see what's going on here. Okay, good. So I've selected a text object, right? And then it shows me the properties of that text. It shows me the name of the font, the size of the font, and other text properties over here. It shows me the color, so it allows me to change the color if I want. I can also sort through the opacity if I wanted. All that really fancy stuff. Same thing with the frame. So I can change the background of this frame to be red or black if I wanted, whatever. And if I were to select an object, it does the same thing, right? So you can see that this object panel basically reflects the properties of the objects that you are selecting at the end of the day. All right. So I think, yeah, that's probably all you need to know. This is like the fastest run through of Figma that I've ever done for anyone. I'm not sure if it's also like 15 minutes or even more. Prototyping, am I going to be talking on prototyping today? No, I will not talk prototyping. Inspect, don't care about it right now. I don't need it. All we just want to focus on right now is how to design our very first website. Okay, so let's get to it. Am I going too fast?
Small.
Okay, so I'll slow down. But the reason why I'm moving at the pace I am is so that we don't stay here too long and we don't become too bored. So that we are able to like come up with something tangible and valuable. Because the day is only long; it's just 24 hours, and I'm not looking forward to taking more than 3 hours of your time max. Hopefully, I will not get to that point. So let's get back to my presentation so we can continue. Now, let's break down the anatomy of a website. Now, I want to show you a web page I opened not long ago. Let me see. I hope it's here. Is this it? No? For real? That's not it. Okay, let's see if it's this one. One bridge. Ooh, okay. Hang on. Let's hide this for a minute. I think there was something I was looking at prior. Hold on. I should be able to get it now. Yes, I think this is it. This is what I was looking for. This one. Okay, so this is a typical web page or a typical website, how it actually looks. I mean, obviously it's a template that I got off the internet, but it basically shows the basic components of a typical website. First things first, you have your header. Now your header is basically everything that happens above the fold. Now what do I mean by above the fold? Above the fold is this area of your screen where is all the information available on the area of your screen without you having to scroll, right? So if we were to look at this right now, the fold basically would start here or we end here. That's at the bottom of your screen without you having to without you having to scroll. All right. So this is your header. Everything outside of the header is the content area, right? And then after all the content area, you then have your footer. So this is the broadest breakdown of a typical website. It's the broadest breakdown of a typical website, and I will break it down further for you. Now, for the header, you have things like the logo, the navigation, and the banner or the carousel, for example. Now, this is a typical header, right? We have the logo, which you already see here. The logo is Blue Tech. No, let's not do that. So we have the logo here, which is nicely displayed here. We have the navigation, which already has drop downs, but we don't really care about that. The navigation obviously just takes us, shows us around the site, takes us to other pages that are not on the home page or that are not the home page. So that's just basically like the navigation. It helps you move around the site quickly. And let's just say, this is like an action button that tells you, okay, if you want to buy or you want to do anything fancy, whatever. Now, this is the banner area, also known as the hero area. I don't know why. I don't know how or why we came up with the name or what the history of the name hero section is, but I think that's where you try your best to actually upsell, the whatever it is that the website is trying to do. For example, now Blue Tech is probably like a tech company that actually helps startups to launch. So you will notice that they have some text on the left, they have some images on the right, they have some other buttons. Now, some websites use carousels. Take for example, this guy is here, OneBridge. Now, in the context of OneBridge, they already have the logo here. Their navigation is probably not so visible, but they have a button. But you will notice that they have buttons here that takes you to go and download the app. But this is essentially a carousel, right? Carousels are, for those who are not exactly familiar with the word, carousels are those rotating banners, right? That just change. You get, so those are essentially carousels. Now, let's go back to our example. So we are done with the headers. Let's go back to the main content area. The main content area of the middle basically is where the rest of the information can be displayed. And you can fashion the information, you can design it however you want. You can center all your design in the middle right here like they've done, or you can create your design so that you can have like some kind of sidebar. Let me see if I have any example of sidebar. I don't think I do. But I think the best when it comes to sidebar, I think Facebook usually takes the cake when it comes to sidebar because their sidebars have sidebars. All right, so Facebook as a platform, this is where your main content is happening, right? And then this is your sidebar. And you can have one sidebar, in which case you can decide whether or not the sidebar will be on the left or on the right, or you can have two sidebars. You can have two sidebars where you can have two sidebars where there's a sidebar by the left and there's a sidebar by the right, and then there's a focus on the main content in the middle. Daniel Tomiwa is asking, how does the animation work? Okay, so whatever questions you have, just Roms, thanks for dropping by. So whatever questions you have, just hold on to them. I will answer. I'll do my best to answer them at the end of the class. We are currently 1 hour in. So that means we have max or 2 hours to go. Hopefully we will not get to that point, but let's keep running with it. So after dealing with all the content area and the middle section, we come to the footer where we basically have things like our logo and other pages or other links that are not typically at the top, because usually you keep important links at the top and you keep like other sub links and sub pages at the bottom. Then you also have you also have spaces for things like newsletters and email subscriptions and things of that nature. So just like I've written in here, a typical anatomy of a website is you have the header, you have the content area, and you have the footer. A typical header has a logo, a navigation, or a banner carousel. The content area has usually the main content. However it is you want to design it, it's up to you. It has sidebars. Now, it's not compulsory that all designs have sidebars. You have to really check. You have to really be sure for the reasons why you're implementing a sidebar. And I think that's primarily for two reasons. One, if there's no real reason for it, don't add a sidebar. sidebars usually hold things like ads or things like easy to reach links that easy to reach or related links that the user can always use to jump to another piece of the website or another side of the website. And more often than not, you won't find yourself using those links. You probably most likely navigate back to the home page. So unless it's absolutely necessary, don't use the sidebar. Another drawback of the sidebar is when it comes to mobile responsive, if you were to view a site that has a sidebar, it will be difficult for that sidebar to display properly on a mobile screen. It will be difficult for that sidebar to display properly on a mobile screen. So that's that about that. Then we have, we've spoken about the header, the content area, and then the footer. And the footer can contain, maybe the logo, can contain other links, can contain links to social media platforms, and also an email subscription. Okay, so are we following so far? Do we have like is there like any question I can ask? I mean, that you can ask that I can answer one to? Hello?
We are following.
Okay. Dama is asking, can we convert Figma design directly to an actual website? When you say convert, I'm assuming you mean converting, connecting Figma to a service that just as soon as you design it, you connect it to a service and then it outputs a design. I think yes, it's quite possible, but I often avoid those platforms. I think Anima lets you do stuff like that. Anima lets you do stuff like that. I think so. Anima lets you do stuff like that, but I usually don't trust the output of the code. I don't trust the output of the code. But what I do typically is I'll design in Figma and then I take it to I just manually rebuild what I've designed in Webflow, because Webflow for me is a lot easier to work with instead of having to bother about the hijinks of HTML and CSS and writing code and all that. I just do everything I do in Webflow. Okay, so Gwinnett, that question, I will answer it at the end of this class. No more questions. I'm not answering any more questions until the end of the class. All right, so let's quickly move along. We don't really have much time. All right, so I think we have touched on a few things in Figma that actually helps us get like a firm idea of how to actually use the tools to do some of the things that we need to do. So I think so far we've already created like our first shapes in Figma, which is basically what I've done here. But I mean, we can always create like some more shapes. And you can put a circle here. You can put like a triangle here. You can put a star if you want. No, that's not add images. You can put a star if you want. Sorry. You put another star here, because you can never have too many stars at the end of the day. All right. So, and then you can always change the color of the things that you want to do. Say I wanted to use like a very weird turquoise. Say I wanted this to be green. Say I wanted this to be pink, maybe purple. So as long as it's a vector, as long as it's a shape in Figma, you can change the shape and the size of it. And I mean, it goes without saying that if you wanted to change the size of an object, you can do it manually via the properties panel, or Or when you select an object, you will notice that there are 4 nodes that appear by the side. Just by clicking on one node and then dragging it outwards allows you to scale it. And if you click on the node or the same node and drag it inward, it allows you to scale it down. So it's the same thing that happens for circles, the same thing that happens for, to all the other shapes. All right, so let's move quickly. So what's next? What's next? Combining shapes to create new shapes. Now, I usually try to avoid teaching this particular concept to beginners because it takes a bit of learning. But you can combine 2 shapes to create a different shape, right? So say, for example, I have this star here and I have this hexagon, and I wanted to create like, maybe something like this. Something like this. So I'll select my hexagon and my star, and then at the top, you notice that, the top has changed. I will come here to Boolean groups. I'll click on it, and then I'll select union selection. Now they have like 4 different operations, but I'm not going to talk about them. No, well, maybe I might. But there's 4 different operations, right? And I don't really want to dive deep into because we don't have time, and B, that this is not the purpose of this particular course. If you want to learn more about this, you can check out you can check out the video I posted. So if you wanted to create like a new shape, you press union selection, and you notice that it now moves like one shape. And inadvertently it looks like a penis. I did not intend for this to happen. All right. Also, if I wanted to create, if I wanted to change the operation, instead of union, I can say subtract. So you see that it has, the shape of the polygon is cutting into the star. I can select the main shape, and then let's say I wanted to do something like intersection. Intersection is very nice in the sense that the area where the polygon and the star overlap will only show. So just this area, for example, and then exclusion, which is the opposite of intersection, whereby everywhere but the area where the polygon and the star overlap will show. So that's that about that. Let's move quickly. So we've added colors to the things that we've created. Has anyone ever been in the kind of situation whereby you wanted to pick colors, but you wanted to pick a color that really spoke to you, right? Hello?
Yeah, with you, sir.
Yeah, so I was asking a question. Have you ever struggled to pick a color whereby you wanted a color to just like, you wanted a color that could speak your mind, that could represent you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, okay, so on top of your head, what's your favorite color? Just type it out. Let me just know.
Okay, mine is purple.
Purple. Why purple?
Okay, because I've actually used it a lot of time, and I quite like the view.
Okay, so how does purple make you feel?
Or most of the time, like purple gold. Like I think these are the choices make.
Yeah, I know, but how does the color make you feel? So sorry, before you continue, So if you're typing the colors you like, the colors that come to your head, or the colors that you like, your favorite colors, you are typing them. Also type the reason why you like those colors and how the colors makes you feel.
Okay. For me, the reason why I choose the purple gold is at least it just like represents like myself. It makes me
Okay.
feel unique. So that is the reason why I actually love those colors.
Okay. All right. Pearl Cosmos is saying sky blue because it's warm, earth tones and white because I like minimal, fresh, and airy feel. Let's see. Christian Ikechukwu says he likes red because it's energetic. Obafemi Oyebode says he likes it because it's cool and blue. No, because blue is cool. The same thing with Adekemi Boride. He says blue because it's cool and makes me feel calm. VK Bills Agogidi. I hope I pronounced this correctly. So blue suits me and makes me feel chilled and relaxed. It seems a lot of people actually have a proclivity for blue as a color. Afolayan, why do you like orange? Oh, okay, you already wrote it down here. Orange is stimulatory, conjuring feelings of excitement, enthusiasm, and warmth. Okay, so let me look at the stream. Someone just posted Simeon Adinoyi. Hope that's correct. Sorry. Yellow and black, it has a quiet feel yet dominating. I agree. And I think the reason for that is because of the contrast. Jordan Adiremi says black because it goes with everything. Okay, true. Green because it feels fresh. That's Tolulope Adeleye. Akinseti Tola says I am. Okay, that's clearly not a color. Yeah, so that's that. All right, so now if you guys have the time, I want you guys to look into color theory, right? And color theory actually explains the psychology behind color choices, or why people actually, the psychology and the effects of color on people. Oh, okay, that's happening. TJ Whiskey, okay. All right, so he explains the like I was saying, he explains the color theory explains the effect of colors on people. So whenever people see certain colors, there's an emotion that they attach to those colors. Like everyone just said, whenever they see blue, it's calming, right? So if you see something blue, you feel calm, you feel relaxed, you feel very chilled. If you see green, you think of freshness, you think of nature, you think of agriculture. If you see black, you probably think of death, you think of royalty, you think of luxury, that kind of thing. If you see purple, you think of what do you think of when you see purple? When you see purple, you see royalty, you think of royalty. You sorry. Maria, you are asking if you can make simple vector and characters in Figma. Yes, you can. You can. You can also create your vectors in other tools and then import them into Figma, but you can also go ahead and, both ways work. Okay, so what was I saying? I was talking about purple, right? Purple is mostly royalty. I've spoken about green, I've spoken about black. Orange is an exciting color, actually. Not as exciting as red, but it's an exciting color, and it's also one of the reasons. It's God, I don't know how to say this now. It's a color that stimulates hunger, like human hunger. Yeah, and let's see, red obviously is a very dynamic, a very high energy color. When you see red, you think danger, you think warning, that sort of thing. So there are lots of colors that mean that evoke pretty much the same emotion from different people whenever you show them. So you have to be very, very careful about the kind of colors that you select when you're designing your website. Who thinks who thinks about Figma when they see purple? Definitely not me. Oh no. Odoo. Red is actually relatively easy to work with when it comes to design. It's totally false. In fact, if you are looking for a color that is hard to work with, I advise that you try purple. Purple is so difficult, as a color. Purple is so difficult that it only plays nice with two colors, white and certain versions of gold. Other than that, the rest it just tolerates or downright doesn't work with. Oh, trust me, you haven't tried red as nicely as much as I have. All right, so let's continue. So I've spoken about colors. Let's speed it up. This is 20 minutes in. How many frames do we still have before this podcast close? Now, importing images in Figma. I think I've actually showed you how to actually import an image. You can also drag and drop an image into Figma. So let me just show you how I drag and drop my images. So this is an image I have on my system, and I can just pick it up and then just drag and dump it on Figma, and that's it. There you have it. Real simple. All right, so let's continue. Now let's talk on typography and fonts when it comes to Figma. Now, in Figma, if you wanted to type something, I think we already have something that we've typed. We want to type something, you come here to the T on your top left, basically at the top toolbar, and then you press it, and then you can type, something nice. Let's say Pearl. Pearl, are you a guy or a lady? Lady. Well, nice to meet you. So let's say, well, sorry, actually, no, look, you really can't say. You really can't say because there are some. Anyways, so Pearl, what's your favorite color? Sky blue and pink. All right, so let's just go with pink. All right. So pink is a crazy color. There we go. All right, so we have that. So Pearl loves pink. So we can just type in whatever font that we want, and we can then choose whatever type we want. Now, currently, currently the font type that's here is just Roboto, right? And then you can switch to whatever font you actually want. I have a variety of fonts here. I think you can use Clay. Oh dear. Oh dear. No, don't do this. Figma wants me to. No, I'm not going to do that. No. Oh, these are all the people that are currently here. All right. So you can change whatever font you want. The reason why I can't even switch fonts right now is because I'm designing on a browser, but I'm pretty sure when I switch to my system or back to my system, I will be able to select whatever fonts I want. It's very, very helpful for you to actually know the different types of fonts. Typically, what everyone is familiar with are the two types of fonts. You have the serif fonts and the sans serif fonts. Serif fonts, serif fonts are fonts that look, you know, like Times New Roman. Do I have that? No, I don't. But I should have Abril face. So this is typically a serif font. It has all the strokes and all the really nice fancy curves and all that. This is a sans serif font. I think Roboto is a typical. So if you notice the two keys, yeah, we notice the two keys are quite different. This has a base, this one obviously does not have a base that it stands on, and so on and so forth. All right, so let's continue, because I can see from the comments that a lot of you are becoming quite agitated and just want to see the design process. Importing icons into Figma. Well, where I usually love to get my icons, I get my icons from, 1 minute. I get my icons from the Noun project. So it allows me to download and to import my icons into Figma. There is a plugin in Figma that also allows me to get icons. It's called Iconify, and that's what I also use. So let's just jump right on. So I just want to talk briefly on the core UI elements. I just want to talk briefly on the core UI elements. I just want to talk briefly on the core UI elements as user interface elements, or basically the elements that you're going to be using while you're designing your website. Now, typically whatever you see on the website is either an image, an icon, which is also kind of an image. So let's just call it, it's either an image, it's either a text, it's either a shape, or it's a form element. Those are the 5 to actually bear in mind when you are designing. It's either you consider your images, consider your text, you consider your shapes. I think we should merge shape and imagery together. So let's just merge it together. So let's just start from the beginning. You have your image, you have your text, you have your form elements. So that's that about that. And I think we've covered that. We've covered how those actually work in. Well, I was just showing everyone the hands on how to use Figma. Now, quickly, what is responsive design? Now, responsive design. What does it mean when you say a design is responsive? Basically, what that means is that website looks good both on mobile and on the web, right? Because I'm pretty sure there are some websites that you take a look at that are not responsive. They look good on your web browser, but when you try to check them out on the phone, they look terrible, very, very terrible. And that's very bad. And the reason why, special attention has to be paid for responsive website designs is that a lot of people access websites on mobile devices, right? Either on tablets or on mobile phones, more on mobile phones than even tablets, right? So you have to design to accommodate those sections of users. Otherwise, you're basically just leaving them in the dark, and you'll be losing business and you'll be losing opportunities. So that's why it's important for you as a designer when you're designing your website when you're designing your website for the web or for like the desktop, always design a mobile version, right? So that is that about that. And now we get to the parts where everyone has been clamoring for, the part where we actually have to design something. So what would you like me to design? Let me see if it's something I can do. I have an idea of what I want to design, but let's just see how that works. What do you want to see me design?
A football website.
A football website. Ah, that's okay. I'll keep that under advisement. Yeah.
A digital marketplace for artists, artwork.
If I did that, we will not live here.
All right.
If I did that, we will not live here. So let me create a new page.
I can have a simple website that that can go for, let's say, freelancers. You know, we have most of us that are freelancers here. Maybe a website
Okay.
I can just, all right, freelancers. This is what I can do. That can talk about your what functionality, what you render as a service.
What of a website for just a supermarket?
That works too.
How about an e-learning website for kids at home?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Luafemi Israel is asking. Always, even if they pay for Just Web, yes, 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 and yes. All right. Go ahead.
Web for e-learning for kids at home.
Okay. Maybe we could do that.
Oh, okay. I wanted to do a portfolio website. Sorry.
A portfolio website. That's more my speed. Thank you. God, finally. Okay. You know what? You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna do something a bit selfish, right? I'm gonna do something a bit selfish. Now, here's the skinny. I'm getting married soon. And I want to design a website for my wedding. And that's what I want to try and do right now. So okay. So let's start. Now, usually whenever you want to start designing, you have to start by designing. You need to first of all create a frame. So I come here, either I press F on my keyboard, which is a shortcut key, or I come to frame, I press frame, I open desktop, and then I select, obviously the desktop frame, right? Now, so this is where all my design is going to happen, right? But before I start designing, I need to plan out how it's going to work, right? I need to plan out how it's going to work. So number one, I need a header. Now under my header, obviously it's going to have the logo. It's going to have some kind of title text / imagery. It's going to have, is it going to have like some buttons, maybe? Menu, navigation, I guess. All right, so let's go. So after the header, what else do we have? Sections. How they met or how we met. I don't want it to be too yeah, the body sections, exactly. That's what I'm actually talking about. I don't want it to be too lengthy. I just want it to be like really short and sweet and nice, and not too complex. Body sections. Other the body section, I think I'm going to talk a bit talk about her, talk about him. Then after that, we're going to get to the save date part. The date, under the save the date section, we'll probably have like, the gift registry. How a gift registry and invitation / RSVP. RSVP, yes. And contact. See, very short, very sweet, very simple. All right, so let's start. Now, I'm looking at my design. Definitely, it's going to be long. It's going to be long. So let me start accommodating that. Yeah. I need a way by which I can actually arrange my stuff. So what I'll do is I'm just going to create oh yes, I forgot to tell you guys. Figma has rulers, right? And they're usually out by default. Oh no, Bharat, I am using 1440, not, although the size of my screen is 1920, but the size of the canvas I'm using is actually 1440. All right, so I'm going to take a ruler and just basically just draw some guides. Now the ruler serves as a guide. It's not going to show in the final design. It's just to make sure that whatever it is I'm doing, you know, it falls within a certain structure. Let me just make sure that my shapes are consistent. Let's just be here. I can send it to the other end. Let's see. Wow, I really do have good eyes. All right, so let me not waste this rectangle. Let me do something interesting with it. So this is probably going to be where our hero section is going to be at 7. Yeah, our header section. This is where it's going to be at. So I'm just trying to block. The sections. You know, do it like section by section. All right. So let me start then. First things first. Oh, not 1414, 1440. That's 1440. So what I want to do is I just want something really nice and simple. So I'll just get an image that I just got from yesterday. Oh, I'll probably also need this. Do I need to open Illustrator? I guess so. Is my Illustrator open? Yes, it is. So I'll definitely need some assets from here. So I'll take this. And I'll drop it here. So I definitely need that. I will also need this. I will need this, most definitely need this. All right, so let me group it, take it, and then drop it on Figma as well. What else do I need? We'll certainly need this guy. Keep him there. So let me get some images. Download. I think these are the 3 images I just got recently. I've got some other images, but I will. Karen N, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate what you're doing. Okay. So, which one am I going to take to here? It's going to be this. Is it going to be? By the way, if you want to know, what's it called? If you want to know the studio who's responsible for my photography, the URL is here at studios.com. All right, so I'm inclined to go with this at the header, but I kind of suspect that it's not going to be wide enough, because if I scale it this way, it becomes too big and I don't want that. So here's what I'll do instead. All right, so the height of I'm using 768. Yeah, I'm using 768 for my hero section. Oh no, wow, what did I have? Oh. Yeah, so 768 for my hero section, thank you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this. Wow. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this image and I'll just keep it in the middle. I will scale it this way. I'll scale it a little lower. And then align it, and then I'll just press this so that it looks like it's in the middle. But there is a challenge because I need to make this background fade. I need to make this image fade into the background. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to get another image, a circle. I'm going to get another image, a circle, yeah. I'm going to draw this circle so that it kind of like spills out like this. I think this is good. This is kind of good. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to make that circle, instead of a solid color, I'm going to make it a gradient. And not just any gradient, I'm going to make it a radial gradient, right? Then I'm going to group that radial gradient and my image. I'll take the circle beneath that image and I'm going to make it a mask. So to make a mask, I right click on the layer where my object is. And there's an option here called use as mask. So when I click on that, so you notice now it kind of feels like it's part of, you know, it's actually part of the entire thing. But I'm not still satisfied with this. But I'll come back to that. So let me select the board. I want to select the board, and then right beside this share, there's a play button. The play button allows me to have like some kind of preview of whatever it is I am trying to design. So while that's happening, let me just make changes and adjustments to the yeah, good. Yeah. No. Okay, good. So that's that about that. So I don't need to worry about, you know, blending issues and all. Everything has mostly been sorted out over here. Okay. Excellent. Good. Do I need to align it to the left? Kind of like the idea of it being in the middle. Let's see if I drag it a little lower. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have all of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reduce the opacity of this. I'm going to fade it into black like this, like so. Then I'm going to take this frame or this image right here. I'm going to change the colors to white. Then I'm going to bring it in here. I'll set it right in the middle. Then I'll just scale it down a little bit so that it doesn't look too overbearing. So let's see. Not bad, not bad, not bad. All right, so we have that. Let me scale this up a little bit. Let me raise them a little bit upward. Okay, looking good, looking good. Okay, so what else do I want to do? I want to include this guys right here in my design. Now, what does that mean? Let me duplicate this. And then I'll just union all of them. Duplicate that. So if you see me making like several duplicates, because I just want to create backups, and in case I make a mistake and I don't know how to find my way home. So I can always backtrack. All right, so I'll bring this in here, and then I'll just basically scale down to fit what I want. So now my question is, do I want to make it this? No, I think I'll just make it to like half of this right here and right here. Let me see what I'm looking at. Too big. So clearly this won't work. So here's what I propose that we do. We come back here and we start taking them one by one. Strange. So taking them one by one. So I'll just reduce it till when I believe it's satisfactory. Because I mean, it looks smaller now, but you don't want it to be too distracting from the actual design. Okay, and you need to change this color to this. Okay, so let me edit the vector a bit. While that's happening, I need to set the boundaries so that there is a gauge to what I'm doing. All right. Everyone follow me so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. If I'm moving too fast, please, don't hesitate to let me know so I can slow down a little. All right, so we have this. Push this down and basically just flip it over. All right, put you here. Good. This is weird. I thought as much. I thought as much. Okay. So I need to.
A design class that they go to.
This. Yeah.
I will use my laptop connect self to the sound, make it wide.
Who they talk to? Your mic is on. Thank you. Okay, so let me delete this and bring this guy back down here. So instead of rotating, I can just right click and flip either horizontal or flip vertical. In this case, I want to flip vertical. So yeah, that solves that problem. All right. Now, since it's basically the same shape, I just need to take this guy, duplicate it. To duplicate, you just hold your Alt while selecting the object and drag. So it duplicates, whatever it's
on the beat, so.
All right. So yeah. Was someone saying something just now? Okay, so let me continue. So I want to, I'm getting this right. Let me see. That's the. Ugh. Oh, okay, yeah. This is correct. Excellent, I got it right. Okay, so all that is left now is for me to drag these guys up here. Excellent. So with that in mind, I just need to duplicate this and then flip horizontal. And then, you know, it ends here. Let's see how it's looking. Pristine. All right, not bad, not bad, not bad at all. I kind of want there to be a lot more space at the top, you know? So maybe I would have to reduce this a little more and raise it up here so it's not overly big. All right, good. Looking good, looking good, looking good. What is next? 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 Raise you a little upwards to create space for my buttons. Oh yes, I also need to like, I'm missing some things. I need to import the logo itself. God damn it. Now I have to find that logo. No, not you. It couldn't have been you. It's not you. Yeah, it is you. Excellent. Huh, strange. I thought let me try this and see if it works. It's unlikely to work, but let me just put it there and see if it has any hope of working. White. Wow, what is Figma doing? Okay. All right. Let me hide this. And then drop this here. Look at it. Nah. I think I prefer this. I prefer this. Okay. Please exercise patience. My illustrator is acting up. Is the stream going to end in 6 minutes? No, it's not. Okay, what else would I be? No, this is the last part of it. This is it. This is the last part of the session. Once I'm done with the design, then everyone can go their separate ways. I'll just make like 1 or 2 more announcements, and that'll be it. Nothing else. Well, while I'm still trying to figure out the logo, let me just put like some. Well, I'm not converting anything to a web page. This is just the main design. This is why we're here. All right, so we have home. Let me just design the navigation. Home, about us, and then I think there's going to be an RSVP somewhere. Just I'm not going to use this font. I want to use the font I want to use. Wow. Okay, so this is dead in the water already. All right, let's try that one more time. Oh yes, responsive design. Yes, I need to. Yes. I'm going to have to. I'm going to convert this to a mobile view. Is there a quick? Is there another quick way? Do you need to design new frames from scratch to fit mobile view? Yes, and yes. You have to. Although some people would rather use auto layout, but I generally don't trust auto layout because after a while it gets difficult to manage. So I'd rather just do it manually myself. 2 and 3 and 4. Huh? Oh, hold on. Do I stretch it this way? Would it still work? Yeah, it's fine. All right. So while I'm still trying to figure out this donkey, please. Oh, okay, I hear you. All right, so this L and A, I'm only interested in this two, this, and this. That's all I'm interested in. And the rest can like go grab a snack or something. Ooh. Okay. So hold on. Save the date. That's the one. That's what I want. Yeah, this font. That's what I want. Royal Castle. All right, excellent. Let's go. So I want to change this to Royal Castle. There we go. I want to increase the size of it so it's bigger. And I also want to, let me just update this. RSVP. Put contact us. Make sure it's evenly spaced out. Bring it into the main design. Change the color from black to white. Increase the font size to like 17. 2, 3, and 4. Tidy this up some more, and then maybe boost this a little more. It's gonna be like 120. It's fine. I'll group it, align it to the middle, and just like that, we already have like a fundamental problem. Let's see how it looks. Not bad. Come together quite nicely. Oh, okay. So TJ Wiz King, thank you very much. So the menu, if you notice what I just did, all I just did was I typed out what I wanted. Let's say home, about us, gallery, RSVP, and then you have contact as well. So the menu is just a bunch of text that is properly arranged together. Yeah. So I selected all of them, made sure that they were all properly spaced out, and then I just brought them in. I just brought them in here into the design, and then I changed the color from black, which if we leave it as black, nobody's going to see it, and I just changed it to white. As you can see, it already looks good here. So let me just remove that. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. I'm okay.
Right, thank you. Good.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Let me create a section for gallery that will basically hold all our images, and space this out a lot better. Put this in the middle. Now we need to oh wow, okay, this is good. This is looking good actually. So now we need to just add the logo, which I'm yet to even, oh dear Lord, okay. It's been waiting for me to just paste it. So I've added the logo. I just need to change the colors from this dullness to white. Make this white. All right, put this here in the middle. Oh no, that's not right. Okay. Now we can see that it looks clunky a bit. So I'm here to let me try and see if I can offer an alternative. So I want to split it into two. But that will mean that it's going to be 3 on each side. Right now I have 5. What can I do? Oh, okay. I think what I can actually do is just RSVP registry. No, I know what to do. So I'll just keep this like this. Let's see how it looks. The logo is too big. All right, so I need to minimize. I need to like reduce it a little bit, just a little bit. Center it better. Bring this a little lower. It's a good question you're asking, Augustine. If the logo is necessary, you think it's surplus, yeah? Oh, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Because if you're not going to use the logo, then we might as well do something of this nature. We can just kill this off. Yeah. We can just reduce this and keep it on top. Kill that, keep it on top, and then we can just ensure that this one maintains itself. Sorry. Tidy up. Put this at 120, and then set this to the middle. Let's see how does that work out for us. Not bad. Well, I'm not really comfortable with this huge amount of space at the top here. So let's move quickly. I want us to move as quickly as possible. What I'm doing is actually being trash. Instead of suffering myself like that. Hmm. Get this here first. So let me pick this. Sixteen. Wow, okay. Figma, freeze yourself, come on. Jesus Christ. All right, so I can scale this. One, there we go. Maybe these two can even swap positions. All right. Okay. I don't know, maybe this still works. Maybe. Yeah, well, I mean, it does work. Yeah, it works. It works. Works unbelievably well, even. All right, so I think at this point we can just like progress very quickly because there is no time anymore, and I promised you guys by 5 we'll be out. So I want to keep to that promise. So do I continue designing in black or do I just switch the color? I believe I want to switch the color. I want to try and switch the color. Maybe to gold. Not really, not really working. So I think this will be fine. This would do just fine. All right, let's see. Good, excellent. This works. All right, let's go. Okay, so the next thing we said we were going to do, we go back to our site plan, which is here. We said we're going to talk about how we met. So I'll just write right here in black, obviously, how we met. So let me just increase the font size. Duplicate this. And wow, thankfully it comes in bold. So we don't really need to overstress it. Let's write how did we meet? All right, so how do they meet? So this is where this guy comes in. So I'll just scale him down. Block it right about here, right in the middle. How do they meet? Center it as well. Let's preview it. Looking good. Looking very good. All right. So, oh no. Wow. Okay, so say is funny and I don't know. It's funny and smart. And goofy. So let's just write those three there. Reduce this. I'll make this ordinary so that medium, regular. All right, that's fine. Okay. So funny and goofy. All right, so I'll just keep this here. Or I'll keep this here. And I'll just put like a really nice image of me somewhere around here. Then I'm gonna also have to get some text, but because I really can't be thinking about text right now, I'll just have to get some lorem ipsum. Let me set my text size to 16. Okay. And then I'll just use ipsum to fill out the gap. I think this works perfectly. Oh no. Now, I don't know if I can use this font in particular. I don't know. Let me check if it's legible. It's a struggle. It's a serious struggle to read. And even if I boosted it, it'll probably make matters worse. So I think it's best if I just use like a safe font. Maybe Avenir. Avenir seems safe. I like it. Is it Avenir LT Pro 55 Roman? Is it too thick? I think this just works. I think this just works. Too much. Standard Roman book. I want it smaller, and I want this to be slightly bigger. So I'll just increase the size of this. And in goofy. Okay. So that is that. keep this 2, check. So I'll just duplicate this 2, but now I'll just flip it. Oh shoot, so I have to increase the size of this guy. Oh no, no, you're not happy. You're most definitely not happy. $17. All right. So we do it again. 1, 2, group. She's sweet, caring, and smart. Okay, so we have that. Let's see what it looks like. It's funny, it's sweet, very good. So it already looks very, very simple and easy to look at. You don't really need to over. Peter, I will talk about that as soon as we are done with today's class. What's the color of the background I'm currently using? This is cream, basically. I'm using cream. All right, so and you can say something to this effect, and they fell in love. And they met, and oh yeah, so so Figma allows you to quickly flip things. Hold on. So let me show you how that works. So let's say you have this 2 rectangles, right? One is red, the other is one is red, the other one is say blue, right? Now, when you select the 2, yeah, when you select the 2, you'll notice that there are 2 circles that appear in the middle of these 2 objects. Yeah. Now, once you just hold one circle and drag to the other side, and you see that that's how it flips. So that's the easiest way to actually flip on Figma. And fell in love. Oh wow, I'm feeling love. Wow, Jesus. What in God's name? And they met and fell in love. And they kind of sort of lived happily ever after. All right, so we have all of that. So maybe I'll just take like this random text here, center it, and center align it, and just stretch it so that it doesn't just feel empty. Maybe still stretch this a little bit more. And they met and fell in love. All right, so we stretch the here and here. Okay. Okay. Huh. This looks weird. All right, so having done all of that, I think it's now time for us to just quickly work out what's next on our table. So I'm going to save the date. Yes, save the date. All right, so we are good. Okay, fine. Let's keep it at white. So align this here. We'll say save the, and we'll make a really big date right here. Make it as big as possible. Save the date. So extra bold, that is maybe like regular. So it's basic. Save the dates. Wow, okay. All right, so we have that and that. Save the dates. And then we'll just have like an image, that just, oh no. Ah, Jesus. All right, so maybe, okay, this looks good. Put this here. And then I'll group both of them and I'll just create a mask. Use a rectangle to mask the main image. Adjust it properly. Maybe even scale it down a bit so that it's a better appreciation of what's going on. So save the dates. Obviously, we don't want it to be too long. Okay, so I will answer your questions. I'll answer your questions. Just be patient. Okay, thank you. All right, so let me reduce. What's wrong? Just drop the size of this bad boy. Make it medium. Regular is fine. Just drop it to like 20. Save dates. April 24, 2021. Then we have our time. Jesus, I should be done in the next 5 minutes. I should be done in the next 5 minutes. Time 11 a.m. And then there is the issue of the address. Which I'll just happily do this. Let's see. Do I need to do this? Yep. So let me just drag this a little lower. And then bring this guy down some more. Oh no. No, this won't work. This will not work at all. So do I change the color? Will that work? I don't know. So many variables. Nah, won't work. Okay. All right. So I think this covers that. All right. So what's next on our list? Gift registry information RFVP. All right. So I think there has to be like two separate links. I want to use something from here. I don't know. Okay. Take that. I just want to use it to see where it goes, you know. All right. All right. Now I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering what the hell I'm doing. Don't panic. Still in charge here. No. Selection. Go. Turns off. I think it would be best if I even like this here. Or kept it at the back. Yeah, much better. So if I check this, good. That's more like it. That is much more like it. Okay, so so maybe I can just pick this up and then just sprinkle it everywhere. All right, put this here as well. Yeah, okay, so I think that solves my problems. I should be careful not to make it over obvious. So I'll just maybe taper this down to like 50. That sounds fair. Same thing with you. Transparency, put it on 50. Looking pretty okay so far. All right, so what do I want to do now? I want this guy. It just feels ordinary and boring. So let me try out something like this, that. One and two, and then we draw over. Nuts. Okay. Sorry, I just want to get this properly done. So it looks great. And then, oh, okay, so that's why. All right, so I'm gonna take this to the back. Let me fit this. Awkward. Very awkward. And it won't work. Let's not do that. All right. So after save the date, we need to just include buttons that takes us to, or takes our users to the gift registry and the gift registry and then the RSVP. So I think in terms of order of importance, I would say the gift registry is a lot more, or is significantly more important than the RSVP, or at least I want it to be more important because, I mean, we need all the gifts. I'm not gonna lie. So let me turn this off and let me make this a white so that I can add some text in front. The RSVP. I'm gonna make it like black. No, medium. All right, that's fair. RSVP. Set in middle. Line. And then RSVP here. But instead of that, we just basically say, oh, sorry, RSVP is correct. This is the gift registry. Start compiling a question. I think the final part would be the contact us. All right, so I think that's the last of it. What is that? Better be the last of it. All right, so we have you down here. Let me change the order so that it's on the top. I'll just color it. Oh no. Just color this and just say contact us. So it is to the middle. So I'll just put like a bunch of stuff. White. So maybe name. Let's see this. 4803-666-066. Phone. Spokesman, actually. Let's just say this. Or groom. There. Let's see, this is the bride. Want to reach out to them. Usually they don't include, sections like this because it's really not that important. And I'm kind of like struggling or trying to figure out how, I'm kind of like struggling how to actually do all these. Okay, this, nah. Or maybe I'll just leave it like this. I'll just keep this here. If you want to call me, once, you want to text me, once, I'll always be here. All right, good, excellent. So, or I don't know. I don't know. 20 or 25 or something. And then I'll just pick up this guy from all the way from the top and just drag it down so that I don't necessarily need to stress myself. I missed an entire section. Gallery, where photos are supposed to be. Can you reach me via that number? Oh my God, I've made a mistake. If you want to WhatsApp me. Please don't call. Just WhatsApp, okay? That's fine. So I think to save time, I wouldn't bother with the I won't bother touching the gallery. I won't touch the gallery. There you have it, your design. It's simple, it's basic, and you know, it just works. Yeah, we can make it thinner, yeah. I just don't want to waste time, yeah, because like I said, 5 o'clock we're out of here, no matter what happens. 3 hours was the target, and I intend to keep it that way. My number, no, I am not going to be giving my number. I would rather give you my Twitter, which is I think this is my Twitter. If you want to contact me, you can contact me on Twitter. This is it, basically LSL3Y. So that's my Twitter. Same thing as Instagram. That's it right there. So I know I promised mobile as well. Unfortunately, we basically run out of time. And I have to use the remaining time that we have to answer questions. So if you have questions, you can start throwing them now. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm just going to remove that section because Jesus Christ, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to remove it. Thank you. Aha. My number is gone. You can't catch me. Mm-hmm. No. There we go. Turn that off. Put this on, and then we have you. To try and effect. Okay, so let's see. That works, I guess. All right, so let's see. What questions do you all have? So how do we convert this to a web page? Okay, one by one, let's start. Let me see Chibieze's one actually. Chibieze MWC, let's see. How do we convert this to a web page? Well, it depends. Now, if you want to convert to a web page and you have like a developer or a front-end person that you are working with, yeah, you can just share this file with them, and you know, they'll be able to export these assets manually and start importing them into HTML and write some HTML, bunch of HTML code to go along with it. That's number one. Number two, if you want to use a tool like Webflow, what I do is I export each of these assets individually, and then I re-import them into Webflow. If you want to learn more about Webflow, I think you should just check out. There are a bunch of really, really cool tutorials on how to get started with Webflow. Check out Webflow University. I think that's the best place to actually get started. Why is my screen blanking out? Wow. What did you do to my system that made my driver crash? What? Okay, so you say I missed the part where you were importing stuff. Did you just click on an image on your laptop and start dragging the components, or was it from an app? So what I did, yeah, Webflow University. So what I did was I basically just dragged whatever image I have, and I just drag this straight into Figma. It's very, very simple and straightforward. You don't need to stress it. Bosu Bello is asking, hello boss, my question is setting grids. Is there a formality or requirements for grids for websites? There is sort of a formality, and there are multiple ways to actually do grids. And the reason why I didn't want to touch grids, for this is because if I actually did, we'll still be here. We'll still be talking about it. But I did touch a bit on grids. I remember that deep dive into Figma that I posted earlier, yeah? In Independence Day Crash Course. Check it out. I talked about grids. But grids are very important for aligning your objects, or for aligning your design objects on your website, on your design. All right, so any more questions? Oh, like lines? Oh, no. Oh, okay, so things like lines already exist. Wait, lines on the image. I'm not really clear on what you're saying.
Okay, hi Leslie. I'm just
Hi.
to what I'm talking about. I meant like I don't know, there was a grid on the Leslie. I don't know what it was, but that thing at this four corner sides. I don't know. Did you just drag it from the image or something?
Let me open this. I don't know. Jesus, I think I probably have to restart.
Talking about the vector image.
Yeah. Okay, so what were you talking about?
I was talking about the gold frame, the one that is like all over the picture. I don't. Did you just drag it from the image? Because
okay, so these come. So these were in Illustrator before, Adobe Illustrator. Yeah, I don't think it's still open. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they couldn't have just been a random. So you dragged everything from the Adobe Illustrator, actually.
Yes, that's what I did.
Okay, now I get it.
All right.
So can you please explain the mask thing again? I didn't really get to. You were really, really fast during that time. The mask thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the way masks work, yeah, and the reason why I had to start moving fast was because a lot of people started complaining that, oh, okay, 30 minutes in, 1 hour in, and we've not yet gotten to the meat of the matter, while forgetting that these things take time and you don't really need to rush. So the way a mask works is, if you have an object, say this, let's say this is your rectangle, and then you have a And then you see you have like a circle, for example. Yeah. And you want, let me just give them like 2 different colors so that you can see what's going on, right? Let's just see, maybe gold. I'll just call it gold. Now, notice that the circle is on top of the, what's it called, on top of the rectangle, right? Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Okay. So, oh, geez, oh no. Okay. So now, no. Sorry, I'm using it wrong. I'm using it wrong. I'm using an example that you will not easily get. So let me just use this circle and the picture, right? Now, these are 2 different things. So in order for me to create a mask, I'll group them, I'll select the 2, and I'll press Ctrl G. Ctrl G lets me to group the 2 objects into one object, right? They are not merged together, they are still individual objects, but if they were to move, they'll basically move as one because I have grouped them. Now, what I'll do is I'll take the circle beneath the image, yeah? As you can see, the circle has gone behind the image, right? And then I'll right click on the circle in my layers panel, right click on the circle, and I will say use as mask. Now, you'll notice here, like how masks typically work. Everything that is filled, everything that is within the circle is what shows. Everything that is outside of the circle does not show. You understand? And that's how you basically create masks. And you can create like a variety of masks, using anything you want.
Okay, thank you. I understand now.
Are you sure? Do you want me to give like a do you want me to explain further?
No, I totally understand what you did, but I was hoping, I don't know, the mask thing, when you first did it, you wanted it to like blend in. So I don't know that
Okay.
how did it happen.
Okay, so what I did was that instead of using a solid color for my mask, I used a gradient. Yeah, I used a gradient, and that's what helped me to do a good fade. Yeah, of hold on. I'm just messing around. I'm not really doing anything serious right now. That's what just basically helped me to do a good fade of that helped me to fade the image into this black, right? Because without, if I were to let me show you what I'm talking about. If I were to make it a solid, this is what will happen, and this is not what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
This is not what I wanted, so that's why I decided to use it as a gradient. Now that's a good boy.
Gradient is like linear, or what is gradient? Because I didn't see
Radial,
that. Oh,
not
really?
linear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you did that, it just like went in. Okay. I understand.
So you can get me on Twitter. I'm not going to give you my phone number, guys. So let me just give you my Twitter handle. This is my Twitter handle. Yes, it's the same thing on Instagram. If you want to check out some of my other stuff on I have another like Instagram handle where I post my more serious looking stuff. That's where you see it, LeslieWilliams.design. All right, so finally, I think we've come to the end of this session. I just need to make like a bunch of announcements. Do I agree that previous knowledge of CorelDRAW and Photoshop will help in designing in Figma? Yes, but it is not important.
Very, 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 very important.
No, it's not. It's not compulsory that you need to have that. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not compulsory. You don't necessarily need Photoshop or CorelDRAW knowledge to actually start designing in Figma, but it will help if you have it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Now, to the announcements. Now, this course was put together because I wanted to just get people to get interested in web design. However, I am putting together a fuller course, which is a paid course on my platform Overlay. So if you visit this website, overlay.com, yeah, if you visit this website, overlay.com, I am organizing a 2-month intensive program where I actually teach product design, how to actually design websites and how to design mobile apps, right? Now, there are 2 courses on the platform. One is UI UX, one is for those who branding and brand design. If you're interested in that, you can go for it. But if you're interested in learning how to design websites and the actual meat behind it, the theories, the philosophies, the guides, the tricks, the principles, I'm teaching all of that for the next 2 months. Classes are going to be starting February 6th. So if you're interested, visit overlay.com and book a spot. It's 40,000 Naira if you're so inclined. However, I'll be giving discounts. I'll be giving like 20% discounts to people who applied for this. People who, what's it called? People who came for this masterclass, I want to apply, I'll be giving like a 20% discount. And I'll be sending that discount code to your mails after the class if you are so interested. What else? Odu is asking, what is the salary range for junior UX designers in Nigeria? Junior UX designers can earn between 120 and 200. Who is asking this question? Let's see. Who is this? Pearl Cosmos is asking, most times when I would just want to design to add to my portfolio, I don't know where to get ideas, any ideas to help. Try Pinterest, try Behance, try Dribble. Those are the 3 good places where you can actually get ideas. But remember, these places you should have to act as guides. You don't necessarily have to, how do I put it now? You don't have to copy them pixel for pixel. You can use them to just generate ideas, for your designs, but don't even let what you're looking at restrict your creativity at the end of the day. Okay, so I think we've come to the end of the, oh shit. So there is one last thing that needs to be done. Well, if you don't want to hang around for it, I think that's fine. But this thing needs to be done. It needs to happen. I was doing a giveaway on Twitter. So there are 5 slots for 5 individuals. There are 5 slots meant for 5 individuals who perform certain actions on Twitter, and if you get selected, you get to have access to Overlay Academy for free. Right? So let me check this out. So I'm going to be doing like some kind of raffle draw. What's it called? I think it's random number picker. First random number generator. All right, cool. Loading. So to pick for random numbers between 1 to 100, say. Jesus.